All right, Rod, here's what's going on. We are constantly hearing about the economy, how it's up and it's down, and it may be coming back a little bit. We have some, positive employment reports in terms of unemployment claims filed lately. But one of the things that really had an effect on, our entire economic situation was the real estate market. And I was hearing reports in the past week that in Utah, at least, real estate the sales are up as much as 25%. Well, I want to talk to somebody I know about that. His name is Roger Zundel. He's the principal broker at Weichert Realtors at the Rockies. Now, Weichert Realtors at the Rockies is a Gephardt-approved company. That means I trust them, and I trust them because I've investigated Weichert Realtors at the Rockies. I've investigated the way they conduct their business. I've investigated the way they treat their customers and customer satisfaction. And as a result of all that, you'll find them on GephardtApproved.com because I trust them, and they are a Gephardt-approved company. Roger Zundel, welcome to the program.
How are you doing, Bill?
Good. I heard sales are up 25% in Utah. What do you say about that?
Well, I heard you say that, and so that wasn't really my experience. So I kind of went to the Wasatch Front MLS and looked at some statistics, and I don't know I don't know who you heard that
Media
from.
reports. I read it in the paper and I heard it on television.
Yeah. Well, I think that real estate is up a little. The sales are up a little. I think that I think 25% is pretty optimistic, based on just a overall view. We're probably averaging in the Wasatch Front area, which is Ogden to Provo. You're probably averaging 5,500 units sold a quarter, and that's really
about average.
Well, it's really been the way that's about the number that it's been at for the last 3 years.
Okay.
It's maybe going up a little, but not a ton.
But it's pretty flat. Now, what about prices? I heard, now you've already disputed this 25%. You say it's up a little bit, but not 25%. In these reports, I also heard that prices are not up. Prices are flat.
Yeah, and that's true, but that's a good thing because when you look at this graph that I'm looking at, you really are showing a steady decline quarter after quarter for probably the last 3.5, 4 years.
Okay.
And the last 3 quarters, prices have pretty much leveled out. Median price is about $185 now. At one time, at its high point, it was at 200.
What are people doing mostly? Just staying at home, remodeling their home, and not buying and not selling?
No, people move based on their life circumstances.
Okay.
So you have a certain amount of people who are not selling because their need wasn't great. But, for the most part, a certain percentage of the population needs to do something, and they end up doing something, even though they hold their nose and do it. Over the last 3 years or so, we've had sellers who have been unwilling to sell or unable to because they've owed more money on it. They've had to deal with the banks and do short sales. What we're finding now, and this is the last 3 quarters, and again, I don't want to, if you look at 2 or 3 quarters, you really don't have a super accurate picture as to what's happening in the world. And but the last 2 or 3 quarters, sellers are actually still coming down on their asking prices.
Yeah.
But the prices are not reflecting that. So actually people are starting to take smaller discounts on their homes, or they're in some cases getting more than they're actually asking because you have a multiple bid situation.
What is the prognosis? I mean, I know that Utah never had outrageously high prices, right? And they never had outrageously low prices, and they never skyrocketed or plummeted. It's always been kind of steady. So what is the prognosis in the next year or so, in your opinion?
Really, I think that we're at the bottom of the market.
So we're as low as we can go. You don't think we're going to go any lower than this?
I don't think you're going to see prices drop. And when I've been through a couple of these swings, and everybody's nervous to bite. There's a whole bunch of pent-up demand out there. As soon as the general feeling of the public is that it's safe to come out, you really are going to see all of these bargains be snapped up and gone. There's some indication there that you've hit the bottom. Okay. And
Roger Zundel, Weichert Realtors at the Rockies, thanks for your impressions this afternoon.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. A Gephardt-approved company, a company I trust. We've hit the bottom. At least that's what Roger says, Rod.